Hello and welcome to the JTrain podcast. This is JTrain, Jared Freid, coming to you from the magical land of Koreatown, New York City. We're here every Tuesday and Friday, and we're doing the dance of love with your ears. Every week, you come into my fun playhouse of emotions and tales. You send in your emails. You have your issues. And we answer as best as we can. Let me tell you a tale, young listener. It's JTrain Podcast at gmail.com. Hey there, little Sonny.
Hello.
Come on in to JTrain's magical world. You can go as high as you'd like on this magical journey that we call love. Every Tuesday, feather my nuts and enjoy the wonderful time of your life.
Feather those nuts.
Very excited to be back here with you, the listener, Shelby.
What's up?
Great to be back here with you.
You too.
We're here every Tuesday and Friday. I just want to thank you, the listeners, for getting involved with this podcast. It's a Tuesday, and you know what that means. We're going to start off your week right. We're going to make it happen.
Let's do it.
I am very excited about today's guest. I want to get right into the episode. Before we do that, I want to let you guys all know, okay? We have a YouTube page. Last week we talked about it, and I pushed you.
Mm-hmm.
We still don't have as many subscribers on YouTube as we get listens per episode. They should match, okay? These pants are too big for us. We got to fill out these pants. We got to fill out these YouTube pants. And you might be thinking, well, my vote doesn't matter. No. Your subscribe matters. I want them all. That's my motto. More, and extra. That's what I want. So go subscribe on YouTube. Also, I'm coming to your town, Nashville. I'm coming to San Diego. I'm coming to Boston. I'm coming to New York City. JaredFreid.com, JaredFreid.com, JaredFreid.com for all of my live dates. Anything else to plug? Shelby, you got anything going on?
Nope.
Okay. Today's guest is a special guest. He is a get, okay?
It's the moment you've all been waiting for. A new guest.
Andrew Jenks, thank you for coming on.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
This is a pleasure.
An honor.
You're an honor.
Yes, damn straight.
You're a big time guy. This is big for our show.
It's a pretty big deal, yeah.
And the reason you are here right now is via the connection we have, the connective tissue that is Classic Shelby.
Shelby, absolutely. I got an email from Shelby.
Yeah.
And he said, would you want to come on? And then the rest just was a blur. I just said when and where. And he
when
told
and
me,
where.
And then
when Shelby comes calling, you pick up the phone.
You pick up the phone. It's one of those. There's a handful of those in life, and Shelby's one of them.
How do you and Shelby know each other?
We worked together on a podcast called What Really Happened.
Okay.
And for those
listening, that is Andrew Jenks' podcast that he does with The Rock, my boy.
Your boy, yeah.
We have gone back and forth on Twitter before.
Oh, have you? Okay,
okay,
got it.
You know, you work with The Rock. How do you get How do you get tapped on the shoulder? Because this is personal information that I want.
Okay.
Because I tag The Rock and everything. I had this.
I see.
So what I would do is I would tweet at him jokes, and he would respond to the jokes. Like,
Yeah.
we kind of like you could tell he's a ball buster,
Right. Yes.
and I enjoy that from anybody. I love
Right.
anyone who can go back and forth. And so you have this podcast that you started with The Rock. How does that happen?
Okay. So.
And it's called What Really Happened,
Yeah.
and how many seasons are out?
We just finished our 3rd season.
So
yeah.
there are 3 seasons of What Really Happened sitting there waiting for you, the listener. So
Yeah.
if you're right now being like, I do JTrain on Tuesdays and Fridays, I got nothing else.
Yeah.
Here's a great, just a huge hunk of meat for you to sink your teeth into.
Yeah. Over 50 episodes. Yeah.
Over 50 episodes for
go to
you to
town.
sit
Yeah.
and get out of your own brain. That's the beauty of a podcast. Gets you out of your own brain.
Right.
Let
Absolutely.
someone else do the thinking for you.
Yeah.
Goodbye, anxiety.
Yeah.
Goodbye, mom.
Right.
Goodbye, dad.
Right.
Goodbye, negative thoughts. Let's do what really happened. So how do you find The Rock? How does that all happen?
So I make documentaries primarily, and I've been making them for about 15 years. And I was pitching. He has a production company called $7 Productions, and I was pitching them this incredible story about this time that Muhammad Ali apparently saved a guy from committing suicide. He was threatening to jump off the 7th floor of an office building in L.A.
How did?
And all of these, over the course of 2 hours, a priest came up, a police were up there, a psychiatrist, as I recall, came up trying to talk him down. To no luck. He's
so
threatening.
the priest comes up with like the Bible in hand, and
Maybe.
he's like,
Maybe.
Abraham doesn't want you to do it, and the guy's like, fuck Abraham.
Fuck, yep.
And then they go to like, this is like the scene in Airplane,
Right.
when the line of people are there slapping the guy in the face, like
Right.
it's got the nun, the priest, the rabbi. So they send up everybody.
Send up everyone, and there's a crowd of about 200 people that are looking from the ground, looking to see what's going to happen.
And if it was 2020, they'd all have their phones out.
It would
being
have been
like,
well
jump
documented.
now.
That's right.
So it goes on the boomerang.
That's right.
Yeah,
right. Get a lot of likes on it. And
Sure.
so as it turns out, of those 200, one of them in the crowd is Muhammad Ali's best friend.
Come on.
And he gets to a phone, calls Ali. Ali gets there under 4 minutes. He happens to be in the area.
Hold on. We have to talk about how unrealistic this is. Because in that time, there's no cell phones. So he's got to
Correct.
go to a pay phone. He's
Correct.
got to have the change. The course of events for this to happen is crazy.
Exactly.
He's got to have change in his pocket. He's got to put in the money. He's got to call Muhammad Ali. Muhammad has to be sitting on his couch
Right.
watching Vanderpump. he's got to pick up the phone and go, hey, Muhammad.
Right.
And then he's got to go, hey, we need you down here. There's a guy that's going to jump. I think you could help.
Not just that, but then gets there under 4 minutes, and they are in Los Angeles. You can't get out of your driveway in 4 minutes in Los Angeles.
This is an unbelievable story.
And so I love the enthusiasm. I appreciate it. So
Don't you wish you were pitching to me? The Rock's sitting there being like, I don't believe it.
So I tell them this story.
I don't buy this with your candy ass. The Rock says, get the hell out of my office.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Does this story seem possible?
there we go. That's it. That was
Just spit up coffee. That was
incredible.
such a perfect
That was
timing.
amazing.
Yeah.
So I tell them this story, and there's a million other layers to it. Who the guy is. There's a lot
Sure.
of other, like you jumped and understood it from the get-go there.
Yeah.
Which is pretty incredible. But there are a lot more circumstances in any event. I pitched this as a documentary.
Okay.
And
the day that Muhammad
Yes.
saved someone's life.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what was really going on at that time in his life is very complicated and can be a little bit confusing. And there's a lot of questions about whether or not he could still talk, much less box. And it goes on and on.
So he's like older, like he's
So it's
got
1981. He's starting to show signs of
Did he have Parkinson's?
Parkinson's.
he's starting to show, and so he's like stumbling his words a little bit. People start saying you shouldn't be boxing, and then he just had done a BBC interview a few days prior, and they didn't air a large chunk of it because they said it was impossible to understand him.
But you know what? You're
And-
so good. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, it's okay, by
But
all
you
means.
right now, I'm seeing why you're as successful as you are. Because I'm watching the movie in my head.
Right.
I'm watching the documentary. I'm seeing like the old. Right. I'm seeing like in my head. I see like, yeah, the old Jew doctor being like, and we told Muhammad. you're gonna lose some, your speech pattern isn't gonna work out. Right. And then I'm seeing his trainer being like, Muhammad's got a box.
Get up.
Get up, Muhammad. You gotta keep boxing. And it's like the story underneath the story.
Right.
And it's like, and then all the while the guy's on the roof going, I'm gonna jump. I'm gonna do it.
Right. Right. Well, no, but then wait, Shelby, keep that music going, because then someone looks at Muhammad Ali and goes, Muhammad, no one thinks you can box anymore. They don't think you can talk anymore.
That's right.
You need to do something that will show the whole world what you're still capable of. Boom! He's up there.
The comeback story.
Orchestrating.
Wait, you're not joking.
I'm not joking.
Someone was like, "This is part of your comeback."
So that
was how it was pitched to Muhammad Ali.
So no, I don't know that.
Okay.
No, I don't know that. I was just going along.
Sure,
with
I love it. I'm sorry, I fucked up.
So I pitched this whole story to The Rock.
By
and
the way,
his team.
that's probably where we cut off the video. Is right when he says, "This is Right. All right, but go on. Yeah. So you pitched this to The Rock.
So I pitched this to them, and
he's in a tank, shimmering. He's just out of the gym. He's got a link, chain links around his neck.
Right.
So you're telling me Muhammad Ali? Yeah.
Right. Yeah, exactly. That was good. So they say there's a few meetings that happen, and eventually they say, this is a really cool idea, and this is the difference between like $7, Dwayne, and everyone else. They're always thinking like, how do we make this bigger?
Okay.
And better.
Sure.
And so I think if I were to pitch this to 100 people, 99 people would either say pass, no, not interested, or they'd say let's try it in some capacity. They're the 1 out of 100 who go, all right, this is interesting. You know what? Maybe this is one episode to a much larger series called What Really Happened.
Interesting. I love that.
And they are like, we haven't done a podcast before, but while you were telling us this story, it sounded kind of like a podcast. What if we did this as a podcast?
Oh, wow.
And so that is episode 1 to What Really Happened.
And that's what everyone should just turn this off when you're done.
Yeah, check it out.
And go check it out. That's amazing. So you've done, so Muhammad Ali talking someone off a ledge.
Yeah.
That would be the log line. Right. What's some other memorable episodes that you can,
why Michael Jordan and his father being killed, what really happened there. And it turns out the 2 people that are behind prison for that murder, one of them is innocent. I'm convinced. I visited him in prison.
You
and
believe
I've seen
that?
Him. I believe that, and I think I have a slew of facts to back it up.
Come on.
Swear on my life. I would put my life on it, and I've been trying for the last 3 years to get this guy out of prison.
Really?
Yeah. And that episode's called The Trial of Daniel Green.
Get him out of here.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
That's you outside of the jailhouse.
Yeah.
What do you do to try and help make that happen? How do you facilitate that?
Well, you first start off by doing a podcast. Oh, with the law. You try and he's been trying for 20 years to get another trial to show that there's plenty of evidence, and there really is. And I've done this before. I've documented. I made a movie called Dream Killer, which is
which is on Netflix. Right now,
which is about someone else I was following that was wrongfully incarcerated for a murder that was actually based on someone else's dream. He went in for 10 years. And
so someone had a bad dream and believed that this person murdered someone, and they went to jail for that?
Yeah, and then a corrupt DA.
That makes me afraid of my girlfriend forever, who literally every morning I wake up to the story of her dreams.
Yes,
like,
yes.
You don't know what you did last night. Well, let's document that I didn't.
Right. What's your alibi? This
is amazing.
So the press have been, a lot of the press, I'm not a conspiracy guy at all, but I was looking into the documents from the case, the police transcripts, the different players involved, and it became really clear that this guy, Daniel Green, did not commit the murder, and it was just this one other guy, Larry Demery, who's also in prison.
Okay.
And so then I reached out to Daniel's lawyer, and I said, how has he not done an interview? He hasn't done an interview in like 10 years.
And what did he say?
And she said, I didn't mean to, I just naturally came off.
Yeah. Okay, the bloggers are now showing up.
Yeah, my bad.
Sorry, bloggers.
I was starting that sentence, by the way, before you said he.
Yeah.
So she said the press are petrified of doing a story on this because Jordan and his people and North Carolina would just like
come at you.
They'll come at you hard.
Why do they come at you so hard?
Because they don't. Once you hear they got the wrong. All it takes is just like, yeah, that trial was something went wrong. You know, something was wrong. Well, no. What do you mean? What are you talking? You're a conspiracy theorist. You're that, this, or the other.
People want like, things wrapped up with a bow on top. Yeah.
And the fact is, one of the two guys should be in prison and is.
Yeah.
It's just that one of the other guys did not commit the murder.
I mean, this is. I mean, then also there's a lot of conspiracy theories around. You know, just Jordan in general of like why he went to baseball. This all happened around like the same time.
And all of those are false. And I looked into all of those, and those are the ones that if you go on YouTube, you'll find all of those conspiracy theories. And unfortunately, people got wrapped up in all of those theories.
Because those are the juicier, more salacious.
Salacious, got consumed by them. And that's how the episode starts, is me looking at those. And as I'm looking at them and kind of just crossing them off the list, I'm like, oh shit, this doesn't look right. And then I did my due diligence and went down. I met the guy. I again looked through everything and listen. I talked to him yesterday. He's innocent, and the justice system is flawed. It's just really flawed.
I mean, that's someone. You can listen to that right now.
Yeah, trial of Daniel Green.
How do you get into?
And since then, luckily, the press has the Washington Post, Chicago Tribune. Since then, there's been some articles, but we definitely need more to put the pressure on the local courts.
I am hoping the JTrain podcast can push things over the edge.
It just takes one person that can move the needle a little bit.
Somebody, maybe there's someone listening that can help out or facilitate. That's how these podcasts kind of go.
No, for sure. I'm not kidding. Yeah,
I'm not kidding either. So this is amazing. How do you get it? You're obviously very good at finding these stories, and how do you? What gets you into this? Like, what gets you into documentaries? Like, you're just a filmmaker and a journalist? Like, I don't know how that.
So when I was 19, I was at NYU and really didn't like it. Didn't like the other students. Not to say there aren't like fine people there, but
sure.
And my whole life wanted to make movies. Mm-hmm. I didn't have any money, so I couldn't go and off and like make a scripted film.
Yeah.
But I bought a camera off of eBay.
Okay.
And thought it'd be interesting if a 19-year-old moved into a nursing home for a summer. And so that's what I did. And I made a movie with two of my friends about what it was like to live in a nursing home. And HBO bought it, and then I've just been able to make documentaries since.
But at that point, you're like, okay, there's a resume. Now you got some cash.
Yeah,
now it's like, what's the next one we're gonna make? What's the next interesting story?
Yeah, and so I was always so then I went and made a movie for ESPN. I'd been obsessed with Bobby Valentine. I don't know if you remember him.
Of course.
Yeah, so Bobby Valentine, famous
very weird,
baseball.
Well, then he went to Japan,
and that's what the movie's about, is him in Japan.
I remember this movie.
Yeah.
It was a documentary about him. Because you'd always hear that he was super successul there.
A legend. There's shrines of him. There's the Bobby Burger. There's Bobby's beer. I think he was probably the most famous person in Japan.
And what's interesting about that is it's so funny about Bobby Valentine. This is way off topic. There's people Googling right now that they don't because
famous baseball coach.
Famous baseball coach. But then he came back and coached the Red Sox, and his personality. You're like, you don't work in this world anymore. Yeah. As weird as that felt, like he was like, things that he would say, you're like, it was interesting to me that like in Japan, someone like that works. Mm-hmm. And here you're like, it's not happening.
Right.
Is that, he's a big personality too.
He's a big personality. I think, I don't know enough about what happened with the Red Sox, but you talk about someone who's just a fucking genius. Like Bobby Valentine, I would have mic'd during games, and he's one of these guys, and this happens quite a lot in documentaries, people forget they're mic'd.
Okay.
So he would I knew he was never showing off because he'd like go and take a shit and be like, let's turn the volume down, Yeah. But he would be talking to himself during a game, and he'd say, it's going to be a fastball upper right-hand corner. The guy's going to hit a home run. Boom, it would happen.
Really?
He would see, people talk about like if you see things a few plays ahead. He saw plays ahead of time.
But they said that about him. Doesn't he have like all these weird facts about him? Like he's like, genius level stuff.
Like he's one. As it
You're
pertains
not-
to baseball, I would categorize him as a genius, and I think anyone who knows baseball would say he's
But
at that level.
it is funny that you know, maybe in Japan where you know that there's Major League Baseball, you know you're not the top league in the world.
Right.
You can come in and be a genius.
Yeah.
And then you go to like Major League, and everyone's like, "Well, I'm the best in the world. I'm not going to listen to you."
I think that might be
That could be a big part of it.
I think so, yeah.
That's very cool. So we're pumped to have you here.
Yeah,
the connection with Shelby. So Shelby was helping. This is all back around to Shelby.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, that brought. So you guys worked together on What Really Happened.
Yep. And what I learned quickly is Shelby is a man of few words.
Very few.
But that doesn't mean he doesn't have a very large following.
A cult following.
Cult following.
But you even reference he had a cult following even before coming here to the JTrain podcast.
Oh yeah, what was the show? I know you're quiet and humble about it, but what was the famous? It's a famous show. I just
It was called Ron and Fez.
Ron and Fez, and if you look up Shelby on YouTube, Ron and Fez, they did like whole segments about him. And I didn't know this for 2 years into working with him that I finally discovered this.
We're just finding this out now. There's
Yeah.
going to be people right now.
Yeah.
Are you ready for this?
Don't do it. Skip it.
Absolutely, he does that.
There's
He does the
there's
don't
a
do it,
tidal
skip
wave
it.
of love that's about to come your way, Shelby, from the
Yeah.
JTrain fans.
Listen to this show.
So we're very excited to have you.
Yeah, man, happy to be here.
All of you guys need to go listen to What Really Happened. I could go on and on about these things, like all these cool
Yeah, it's
stories.
crazy. Yeah, it's wild.
I'm gonna go listen right away. Dream Killer is on Netflix right now.
Yep, mhm.
That is your documentary. You
Yeah.
can go search it out tonight, and that's your movie tonight. So
By all means,
go
please.
watch, go get involved. Andrew, we're pumped to have you. Let's do some emails. You
Let's
ready?
do it. Yeah, absolutely.
Jared, JTrainPodcast at gmail.com, JTrainPodcast at gmail.com. We're sponsor peoples. Postmates. Are you craving a partner? The kind who answers your beck and call. The one who can bring you sushi at 11:30, red wine at midnight, and a breakfast burrito at 8 a.m. You can stop swiping. Postmates is here. And they're saying, hey, girl. Postmates is your personal delivery Sherpa. They'll bring you groceries, bottles of water, or really anything anytime you want. Here's what I'll say about Postmates. As someone who travels a lot, and you travel a lot as well, I'm sure.
Yep.
Something like Postmates is something you need on your phone.
Right.
Because when you're late at night, you're somewhere unknown, you want to bring up an app that finds you the best places that are open right now that can get you food quick.
Right.
And that's what Postmates does. It won't have a place up there that isn't open. You're not going to be looking at a menu and go, oh man, I can't wait to have the burger from that place.
Yeah.
And then call them up and have them go, have it keep ringing for 3 days like it's Muhammad Ali not on his couch.
It's very practical.
Exactly. So for anyone listening right now, let me give you some free money. Because that's what we all want.
Yeah.
For a limited time, Postmates is giving my listeners $100. Yeah.
Wow.
You can rewind that. I said it right. $100 of free delivery credit for your first 7 days. Free money. To start your free deliveries, download the app right now. Use code JTrain, 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 JTrain. That's JTrain for $100 of free delivery credit for your first 7 days when you download the Postmates app. Get anything you need anytime you need it. Download Postmates and save with code JTrain. Postmates, get what you want out of life. Very excited about that sponsor. Let's do some emails. You ready, Andrew Jenks?
Yeah, let's do it.
JTrainPodcast at gmail.com.
Okay. Let's do nice guy turned fuckboy.
Oh, geez.
You ready? Are you in a relationship? Are you seeing anyone?
Single.
Single.
Yes, sir.
How do you meet people?
Just pray. I
That
pray.
was a sigh. That was a very large sigh of singledom
If
right
I knew
there.
the answer, I pray. I hope.
Well, there's a lot of women that listen to this show.
Oh, okay.
You might get approached.
Yes. The
DMs are open.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All day. Andrew
Okay.
Jenks. Yeah.
I love the show. Obsessed with your bachelor Instagram. Keep up the good work. So I started dating this guy in November. He took me on fun dates. We slept together on the 2nd. He got me a sweet Christmas gift.
Is that? Sorry to
Sure.
interrupt. Is that a quick question? Is that quick or not quick? I was just wondering this the other day when I was on a second date with someone.
I don't think there's such a thing as quick or not quick. I don't think there's rules to these things. To me, like, how was the second date? What did you guys do? How did you guys meet?
It went very well. We met through a friend, and then we went to.
What was the first date?
The first date was drinks at the Edition Hotel.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what was second date?
We met up after dinner in the Bowery and just went to a couple different places and had fun.
Bar hopped.
Hopped.
What night of the week?
Oh, that's a good question. It was a Saturday night.
Okay, so you did a weekend hang, elevated hang.
Right.
That is
that what that's called?
To me, it is.
I like that. Okay, I'm gonna use
because
that.
the first one was at a weekday at the Edition Hotel.
Correct.
So you went weekday drinks.
Right.
Now you've gone to
Up there,
weekend.
elevated. Got it.
Bar hop.
Right.
You're giving up a night that you would have spent with people you
By myself.
trust to have
let's be
fun, or
honest.
by yourself.
Yeah.
Okay,
Come on.
one or the other. But you gave up a night that you would have trusted to be fun.
There we go.
To one to maybe you don't know what's going to happen.
Right. And as she was getting in the cab, she goes, "Should I?" She goes, "Maybe you should come home with me."
Oh.
And I looked at her and I go, "No, I don't think if that's the
Really?
Yeah. If she's
why
saying,
did you say no? Well, hold on. Why did you say no? To me, that's her saying, "I want you to take control of the situation. I want you to want to take me home."
Because we were waiting for her Uber for like 3 to 5 minutes, and I thought it was really a sincere. It wasn't a game. It was a sincere, like, I've had a few drinks and it's like, no, that's her alcohol talking. Definitely, I'd rather just like wait on that.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Respectful. That's the move.
I think.
I think that's the move.
if-
Look at the crowd here.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway,
Proud of you.
I interrupted and made it about me.
I think what you're first of all, it's always about you.
Right,
Because we're giving our perspective.
Everything is for you.
That's
and
right.
this one thing is for him.
Yeah.
So good.
I'm just saying, when we talk about these things, we don't know the answers, but we know how we felt in the moment and how
see.
so it's like, the way you told that story, I'm like, okay, I do think she wanted to have sex with you,
Oh, damn it.
but I do think the decision you made was the right one.
Okay.
Like, I don't
All
think
right.
like I think if
good.
you had gone home with her, like, maybe you would have started making out and you would have been like, actually, this is I think you're a little drunk. I'm a little drunk.
Right.
We push this off for another time.
Right.
I think both answers would have been correct.
Right. Fair. I like that. You're not a very judgmental person, it seems.
No, this is the judgment-free zone.
I like
this
it.
This is where you come for
Yeah.
real talk
when therapy costs too much.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, but I'm saying, like, but in that situation, I think when's the third date? That's all the women right now listening are going
Tonight.
When's the third? Is it?
Yeah.
Where are you guys going?
Movie.
Movie.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
Um,
Because a movie's a weird date because you don't talk.
you don't talk.
You're just kind of sitting there with someone, and it's like,
Again, there's no wrong decisions. There's no rules.
right,
I would want to hang out after the movie with someone to like get to know them better.
right. I wonder if a movie's a weird play at this point because it's like it should be.
Also,
Anyway.
also
yeah.
I'd be nervous if I went on a movie with you, a filmmaker,
I didn't think of that.
that I'd be like, is he gonna like?
Am I gonna?
Are you gonna be like, oh, see what
look
he
at
did
this
there?
angle. Right.
See,
Yeah,
I
would
get
never-
this.
Right.
The mise en scène.
The mise
Yeah.
en scène. right.
Like,
Right.
could have gone with a different cinematographer on this one.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, like if you
the
can't-
audio mix wasn't great.
Yeah, you
First
can't be
third of the
that
film.
guy.
So
Right.
derivative.
Yeah.
Oh God, film people are the worst.
Well, are you gonna go for drinks before the movie, or
I don't know. These are things that we're working out now.
get food?
Maybe after. I think the play is after.
I think so too.
Yeah.
What time's the movie at?
I haven't figured this out. Any
Okay.
of
Oh,
this. This was decided last night on a text message.
Here's what I'll say to you.
Yeah.
You better get your phone out right now
Right.
and make a fucking plan.
Right.
That's the one rule.
Right. Make a
Women
plan.
love plans.
Yes.
I
you're
mean,
right.
so this girl writes, he took me on fun dates. We slept together on the second. He got me a sweet Christmas gift. I traveled over the holiday, and he called and texted almost every day. I started seeing him again when I'm home in the new year, and we had a really nice date. The next week, he met all of my friends, then comes back to my place, has sex with me, then leaves right away. Ever since, he has stopped texting randomly and only texts me to hook up late at night. What happened to the dates and respect?
Yeah.
What would make a guy go from seeming like he wanted to date to just wanting to fuck? Do you have any thoughts on this?
Yeah. The guy's a douchebag. I mean, forget the guy.
Douchebag.
Yeah, douchebag. I mean, total douchebag.
Okay, maybe
Right? Well, you're not. You don't judge people, which is good. But if
I mean, I'll
if he
call
was-
someone a douchebag if I think they're a douchebag.
But he was all over her and texting and all these things. And the moment after they have sex, he's just he.
But they had sex before the holiday, and then he came back and took her on a date, and they had sex again. Then he left. So I understand what you're saying.
Right.
My only thing here's what I would say to her in this situation.
Yeah.
I always say on this podcast, beware of holidays and birthdays and vacations.
Ooh, that's good.
Because what that does is it puts air into the balloon.
Right.
And that balloon can float away.
Right.
So what the holiday did, you guys are on first date, second date, we slept together, now we're sending cute texts, and then you come back from it and it's like, well, we've had this room before. She allowed me to be just text guy over the holiday before. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
The rope has been given. He's played with it. It's kind of like, if I could compare it to like putting on pants that are tight, and then you don't put them in the wash. You're like, well, I can eat a few more donuts now. You take liberties.
Right.
So he's taking liberties based on the dance you guys have done in the past, and I agree. Holiday's a good excuse for why the dance was done that way, but he's using it as a normal excuse and not a special excuse.
Right, I see. I guess what I'm bumping on is that he is reaching out when it's late at night and he just wants to hook up.
I'm with you. That is a different person than who she bought into.
Right.
My point is that what's interesting about what he's doing, if you took 2 weeks of not seeing each other in August, that would be seen as two people who don't really want to date.
I see.
When you take 2 weeks away from each other over the holidays, it's like, well, we had the holidays.
Right.
So he's treating it as 2 weeks in August, not 2 weeks over the holidays.
That's right.
So what I need her to do, and my biggest thing for her is to say no to some things. No will set you free.
Yeah.
So, hey, it's okay for him to text for late night hookups. He has his right.
Sure.
You have your right to go, hey, I can't meet up tonight, but here's the second part of your text, but I can do drinks this week if you want to do that.
Yeah.
Put him in a position to say no to the elevated hangout.
Boom. Perfect.
And there you go.
Brilliant. Yep.
JTrain Podcast at gmail.com.
That was really good.
JTrain Podcast at gmail.com.
I'm going to start emailing.
Here with Andrew Jenks. Listen, man, I'm happy to have you here. Andrew Jenks, go check out What Really Happened. That's the podcast. Get involved right now. We're sponsored people. Untuckit. You ever use Untuckit?
Yeah, sure.
You ever wear their stuff? No? You are a tall, good-looking, strapping man. You don't understand the trauma I've been through.
What?
I went on a podcast. I don't want to disparage anything I've been a guest on, but it was funny that a lot of these podcasts are popping up now.
Sure.
Because money's moving towards podcasting. So it's
Right.
like, so now that's the way of life. Incentive is the way of life. So more money comes into podcasting. We have 3 ads today. That's fucking amazing. Thank you for listening.
that's
This is
awesome.
amazing.
Yeah.
But I notice now all these people are trying to get into podcasting.
Right.
And I remember this one person, I was like, what are you talking about? There's all these podcasts that are now like, tell me about your trauma. And and they want me to come on because they know I have like a podcast audience. So like, come on and tell me about your trauma. I'm like, I don't have anything to tell you about. I've never had Muhammad Ali talk me off a ledge. Like I can't fake
you weren't
that.
on the ledge, right?
And it's
Yeah.
like trauma is such like a serious word, but then I see these podcasts where they're like, and today my guest on the trauma podcast,
Oh, God.
grew up in Westchester, and and today's guest
Right.
on the trauma podcast is the Crown Prince of Tunisia. And life was very difficult for him growing up. He only had 3 pet tigers.
Right.
Tell us about that.
Right. His brothers had 4.
But it's funny to think that like we have to like go on these podcasts and search for things.
It was so tough being a gifted child. Now I don't
Yeah.
know what to do when I'm an adult.
What do I do?
Right.
What problems
And
I
it
have.
sucks for the people who actually have had trauma.
I know it lessens the word.
Yeah,
and
totally.
And I feel some responsibility. I don't mean to come on someone's show and be like, "Well, I have no trauma." I think you're devaluing the word.
Yeah.
Like now I'm like Mr. Miserable Guest.
Right.
Like that's not. But
or they think you're in denial. They're like, oh, he doesn't know.
yeah, he doesn't want to admit.
He doesn't know that
One
he
time
actually is.
I said I was going to get the keg for the frat party.
Yeah,
and
that was
it fell off the back of the truck.
one time on my 7th vodka soda. I didn't. I was like, oh my God, there's no water to have in between vodka sodas. I'm going to be hungover tomorrow. So, but my trauma is I am a short-torsoed, wide-shouldered man.
Oh, you reeled that back in nicely.
Tough
Wow.
to find a T-shirt.
Got it.
To find a shirt that I could wear untucked.
Got it. I think that actually happens with even taller.
Does it?
Yeah, absolutely.
So Untucked is really great because they basically created a whole company based around the idea that men want to wear a button-down shirt casually.
Yes, I'm in.
I am
like
a
that.
young, vibrant man.
That's right, Mr. President.
How do you pull those up so quick, though, is the question.
Just like all your ideas.
That's right.
You just know where to go.
You have
do
your
it.
talents.
Yeah.
Shelby has his
Yeah,
talents.
he's so good. It's so quick. Okay.
So listen, sometimes you want to go.
Classic Shelb nails another one.
I think Shelby asked you to come on the show to impress you. So most shirts aren't designed to be worn for date night. Like you're going on date night, you don't want to be Poindexter shirt tucked in, not looking cool and fresh.
Right.
But you also don't want to be, sloppy.
Yeah. That's
So how do we find the middle? I think Untuckit is the perfect solution to that issue. If you're a woman with a dad, if you're a woman with a brother, those are two people that are going to love something from Untuckit. I got my dad he's down in Miami, he's down in Florida.
Okay.
And I got him the breathable linen shirts.
Okay.
Loves their like my dad is not like he's not like a guy who goes and buys stuff, but my
Right.
mom was like, send him some of the linens. I like the linens. Send it to him. My dad is like, they're the best. He's out at the shuffleboard court.
Chilling.
He's having a drink with
Right.
in a coconut, and he's like, look at these shirts.
This is brilliant that a whole company has been built around this.
Oh, huge.
Amazing.
Huge. I was a customer before they even started sponsoring. I'm not even just putting that on. So
Yeah,
I'm a huge Untuckit guy.
Huh.
If your boyfriend, brother, dad, sister, mom, whoever wants to, if they kind of resemble me, they're going to like the shirts. If they resemble Andrew Jenks, they're going to like them too. I think, Andrew, I think you would like them. I really do. You can try Untuckit yourself at untuckit.com. Use promo code FEATHER. That's promo code FEATHER to get 20% off your first order. That's UNTUCKIT.com. Promo code FEATHER for 20% off your first order. So go support Untuckit. Here with Andrew Jenks. What really happened? Let's do another email. Is this single life? New listener to the podcast, loving every minute of it. I found myself single after 11 years together with my ex and navigating the dating world with only married friends to go to for advice, and they're terrible at it. You've been a shining light of reason. So did you have other long-term relationships? Were you in anything else before?
Yeah, I've been in. I was in one for quite a few years, and then since then, I've been in a few for like maybe 3-4 months here and there.
Like the 3-monthers.
Yeah, but nothing that I had one in my 20s that was maybe 3 or 4 years.
Okay.
And maybe I was just too young, but
Yeah.
I wish I had that one back.
Really?
Yeah, that was the one, I think.
Come on.
Yeah.
There's the next documentary.
Yeah.
Is she married?
It's over. Yeah.
Has she found someone else?
Yeah. That's what I mean. She's married. Yeah.
Does she know you think about her? Did you ever try to come back?
Yeah, but it was too late.
What was too late?
She was.
Tell your story.
She was already getting married.
And you went and was like, "Hey, I'm back. Don't get married," or was it like, pretty much?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
They say the one that got away is more of an issue for men than women. Because men.
Why's that?
Men are just more willing to think that there's a ghost out there that's better or stronger, faster than the one they're dealing with, and women dig into relationships. And I read it somewhere. I'm talking a little bit out of my ass, but it does make sense to me because women will go, you know what? We've gone on 17 dates, and I'm not sure, but we'll give him one more chance. And I've never heard a guy say that.
Right.
I've never, you know.
Right.
How,
Yeah.
Do you think you're still hung up on this person?
I mean,
I don't mean to get too, you know.
I think, the fact that I'm sitting here bringing this up, clearly I am, but this was, 10 years ago, so.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter.
I'm saying, yes, I'm clearly still caught up because it's not like I'm talking about something from a few months ago.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, are you, to me, the beauty of past relationships is that you've created taste.
That's
what?
That's a good silver lining. Created taste, you said?
Yeah.
What is that? I don't know what you mean.
So, like, the things you do and don't like. There's a reason you ended that thing.
I see.
I'm not saying that she was not a tasteful person to be with.
Right.
My point is more that, like,
no, I know now because I think this is your point. I know now what I like.
Yeah.
As a result of being with her, absolutely.
Especially the dynamic, like the thing that like people. It's not taste in people. It's in taste in dynamic. It's a taste in match.
I see.
So a lot of people get hung up, and I think we have another email that I want to get to. I gotta find it because I read it before we got on the air. But like, so much of this is taken personally when you say you've been with people for 3 months. When you say, well, that's not my. It's not they're not your type. It's the dynamic of the relationship wasn't your type.
Right.
So
exactly.
Like, a lot of us are just searching for the taste of that dynamic. Like,
right.
Ooh, like I have moments like, I don't think, like my girlfriend now, I don't think she's better than anyone I dated as a person.
Oh, of course not.
Like
right.
And I
no,
hope
it's not to judge one person or another.
Versus,
right.
Yeah. Beware.
Yeah.
I hope she didn't.
Let's take everything back.
I take it back. No.
Yeah.
But I'm saying what I mean by that is like, but I do believe our dynamic is better than other dynamics I've had.
Perfectly put. You're kind of like you're a little bit like a funny Oprah. Do you get that?
I appreciate it. I'll take it.
Do you
Thank
get that sometimes?
That might be the clip we play.
Yeah.
That's going to be on the. That's going to be on the cover of the book.
Right.
Kind of like a funny Oprah.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, kind of. I've gotten the Dude Dear Abby.
Oh, cool.
Which has been a nice
cool.
compliment. I consider it a compliment, but I appreciate it. New listener. I found myself recently single. I went on a date with a guy, both of us in our 30s, with good, busy jobs, common goals, close to family and friends. Our first date, drinks lasted over 3 hours, and he kissed me at the end. We'll get to that. I wrote this down the other day. Okay. A few days later, he came to me to watch me play soccer because he wanted to, and that made me think this guy was totally into it.
Yeah.
Over the following week, he traveled for work, but texted me every night, cute and flirty. We made a few plans again, and while we hung out, he would say and do all the right things, like he liked to love to make me smile, and wanted to go on fun dates. He asked what I wanted to make me for breakfast. He asked what I wanted him to make me for breakfast. He would put on my jacket, etc. I was feeling it, really into it. It was fun. I felt
Isn't that
safe.
supposed to be the other way around?
Yeah, he put on my... He wouldn't put on her jacket like to try it on. He would put her jacket on her.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like your Levi's.
Yeah.
Like... I understand what you're saying. This is not, I don't think she's an English teacher. So we went on one more date after that. Then I had to travel for work. While gone, there was little to no. I felt safe. I left out a huge part of this. He asked what I wanted him to make me for breakfast. He would put on my jacket, etc. I was feeling really into it. It was fun. I also felt safe. So I went for it, and we had sex. Mm-hmm. We went on one more date after that, and then I had to travel for work. While gone, there was little to no communication. I came home and asked him if he wanted to hang out, but he was busy that day, getting ready to travel for his own work trip. The last text I sent left the next hangout plans kind of open for him to respond to, but I'm still waiting. I wonder, is he busy with work? Is it too soon to expect communication? Is this guy a one-and-done person, or do I keep reaching out? I think I caught feelings and have no idea what to do in this situation. This is a tale as old as time.
I bet.
Yeah.
I have an opinion.
Please.
I would say you call a State of the Union. You go and sit down with him and just like she's clearly to me she seems like a successful person. She's busy.
Yeah.
She's traveling for work. She likes that this guy is busy and doing things. Like they seem to have that they're both ambitious people. So why not just reach out to him and say, hey, let's get drinks next whatever, like on some day, meet up with him and see where he's at.
Here's the problem.
Yeah.
And I see this in my everyday life, and I'm sure you do too. I'm sure Shelby does. I'm sure we all do. My dad gave me this great advice. Very simple.
Yeah.
The honest person always gets fucked. And that's just the reality.
Okay, so you don't do what I just said.
No. I think what you said is exactly right. I'm going back to her email. She's getting fucked around a little bit because all she has done is been honest and vulnerable.
Right.
Like, he has not.
But just to play devil's advocate.
Sure.
When I was wondering, she said she went on a work trip and there wasn't much communication.
That was after the sex.
But couldn't she be initiating conversation when she goes away on the work trip?
She could,
and maybe
yes.
he would be responsive to that. Maybe he's vulnerable. Maybe he's a little bit insecure, and he's like, "Oh, she's on a work trip. She's too busy for me."
And maybe they haven't been out enough to have things to talk about.
Oh, that too. Yeah.
Listen, I've been with my girlfriend over a year, and there are times when I go away. By the end of the trip, I'm like, "Whew." I guess I'll start talking about TV shows I'm watching. You know, I'm joking a little bit, but there's
Makes
truth to
sense.
it.
Yeah, of course.
If you haven't spent time. So in the beginning, when you're doing all this traveling in between dates, it's like, I don't want to reach out just to reach out with nothing to say. I can understand that. But
I see.
I do think when someone says, I think she's digging into that the person across from her is as honest as she is. Because she's on the date being like, I'm here to meet someone. I'm here to like see what the relationship is like. I'm here to see what we could do as a couple. And he might be there to see what they could do as two people who fuck.
Right.
And that's a differing thing. That is two people on two different pages. Like when she says, we went on a first date, it was 3 hours. He kissed me afterwards. So many women write in with that information, and I always...
Oh, really?
With how long the first date was.
Oh, interesting.
That's not someone who fell for you. That's someone with a lot of energy. Like, I'm not saying that I haven't been on great 3-hour dates. I have.
Right.
But I'm not, and I'm not saying that the dynamic wasn't great during those 3 hours, but the goal wasn't, I'm staying here because I got to get more of her. It's like I'm staying there for 3 hours because I'm like, hey, I'm having really fun. I want to see where the next location takes us. Do we get a little crazy? Do we get a little sexy?
I see.
Do you know? Does that
makes total sense?
And it's like, I'm not saying that the guy who spends 3 hours isn't there to meet you and all that stuff, but you're on a date with two people, him and his penis. Like, you have to admit, like,
hour and a half is him being sincere, and the other hour and a half is someone else.
I'm not even saying that. I'm saying it's two people at the wheel.
Got it.
And every 5 minutes, it's the penis going, no, take the right.
Right.
And yanking at the wheel. And his brain's going, no, we have to stay on topic.
Right. Wasn't there that Robin Williams quote, if only there was enough blood between the brain and the penis?
That's
something along
that's
those
hilarious.
lines. Yeah,
I don't know that as from him, but I would love that. Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
So, and I know women might operate in this way, but I know how I operate. And I know how I've operated. So, especially when she says these facts. 3-hour date. He would say and do all the right things. Love to make me smile. Wanted to go on fun dates. That is all future speak.
I love that you're enumerating the facts like a good documentarian does.
Absolutely, right?
Yes,
though.
Yes.
These are the these are the facts that she's looked far too into because she's being honest. She's like, well, here's the reason I'm here.
Right.
So he must only say these things because he's here for the same reasons. He's here. He's there for partly your reasons, but partly other reasons that.
So what should she do?
I think you're right. This is all to say you're right. I think you need to, like, you can't live in the land of vague. You have to live in the land of direct.
Especially these two. They're both go-getters, it seems. Like, let's
Totally.
just let's get to let's
And
figure
she
it
says
out.
she put it in his court, but I think like going through the court case. Hey, we had a good first date. We had sex. You said a lot of things that I was into. I feel like you're pulling back. And see all those things where you go, you, I feel.
Uh-huh.
Your feelings are, you can't disagree with those. So you did this, you did that, we did this. I am feeling this.
Right.
Let me know if I'm wrong.
Oh, shit. She should be that forward?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, wow.
She's older. She's both of them in her 30s. She's obviously there for a relationship.
Right.
And it's okay to let someone know
Call
that.
it what it is.
Call
Yeah.
it what it is.
I
And,
believe
and
it.
at that point, you say to him, listen, if you're just looking to hook up and you don't want to be responsible for anyone else, that's okay. But I'm not going to spend a year wondering if
Hell
that's
yeah.
the case.
She deserves better. I like
Yeah.
that. Yep.
So you
Totally.
go right at him, and then he might. What the problem is, he might write back. Nobody wants to be the evil guy, so he's gonna write back. No, I'm really into it. And then you go, cool. Let me know when you want to go out.
Yeah, right.
And then he either makes the effort,
Either
the
he
plan, or he
he's
doesn't.
yeah, exactly.
JTrain podcast at
Damn,
gmail.com.
that was good.
JTrain podcast at gmail.com. Here with Andrew Jenks. Go check out his podcast. What really happened? Go right now. I mean, I'm still thinking about that Ali story.
That's crazy. It's crazy.
I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say that's just one sliver of that story. So I'm glad that you.
But
took
also,
to it.
what? Here's the beautiful thing about your podcast, and something I referenced at the last ad is like all these people are trying to get in the game with no experience at all. You're someone with a resume that's going to put together a piece that can be trusted with an hour of their time.
Yeah, Shelby knows this about me. I've never been accused of not working hard. Yeah.
No,
This
but-
is hard work.
Yeah.
But I'm saying-
I've
See, he
worked
did that
hard for a
so
long
quickly.
time.
He knows what he's doing.
That was fucking unbelievably quick. I didn't even finish the sentence.
He's good.
Yeah.
That's why we got him here.
Yeah.
That's why he signed him to that new contract.
Yeah, that new deal.
That new deal that
Yeah.
he's earning his money.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. But what I mean by that is like, I know you're a hard worker, but you also, the experience and the know-how, there's so many podcasts out there that make a lot of promises that don't really, they're just going, so what are we doing? So what's up with you? What's your trauma? It's like, what?
Right. Or
You're
people go, oh, I should have a podcast.
Yeah,
It's like,
but this is how wide the podcasting genre has gotten.
Yeah.
Where it's like you can go and listen to a fucking documentary with real facts and real research.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
But that only happens because these shows are getting sponsored.
yes.
Like we are today.
Yes, well done.
Hawthorne. I am in love with my Hawthorne package that I got, okay? And it's grooming products, okay? Personalized colognes and grooming products. It smells amazing. And here's the other thing. All the Hawthorne products look great on the shelf. Oh my God. Deodorant, shampoo, body wash. I've got it all. I have it.
You said personalized?
Personalized. They have a quiz on the website. It takes about 2 minutes and it tells you exactly which products match your style. I took the quiz myself and it suggested the Seaside cologne for day and the Woodsy cologne for night. So look at now you got different looks.
Yeah.
This is great.
Yeah.
Smells so good.
That's right, Jamie Lee. Plus, Hawthorne is totally risk-free, free shipping and free returns. I need you all to go just check out their website. Just do that.
Right.
Take a dance. Check out Hawthorne at hawthorne.co. That's HAWTHORNE. That's Hawthorne with an E. Use promo code JTrain. Get 10% off your first purchase. That's Hawthorne, HAWTHORNE.co. Use my code JTrain to get 10% off your first purchase at hawthorne.co. All right, here's one. This one's good. Forced to hang out with my boyfriend and his most recent ex-girlfriend all weekend.
What?
This could be a documentary.
Yeah.
Jared, Feather, love the podcast. I've written a couple times. Appreciate your sage advice. I'll cut to the chase. I've been with my boyfriend officially for about 6 months. Mm-hmm. We were on and off hooking up, seeing each other for a few years before that, and although we are rock solid now, it was a rocky start. During that time, there was a long period we weren't speaking or seeing each other, and he slept with his ex-girlfriend. About 18 to 20 months ago, That was about 18 to 20 months ago. Together 6 months. She's treating this whole thing like it's a baby. Oh, the breakup? It's 18 to 20 minutes ago.
I like it, though. She's giving us the facts. She's being
you're right.
tangible here. Yeah.
He moved to the town we live in with his ex-girlfriend about 7 to 8 years ago. They met in college, were together for about 4 years, lived together for about a year-ish. They broke up. They hooked up on and off occasionally. And though it's now ancient history, they're still on civil speaking terms. Okay, so they went together in college, moved to a new city, lived together, broke up, hooked up a little bit after the breakup. Then this girl comes into the fold at some point.
Okay. And how long have they been now?
6 months.
6 months.
My boyfriend's good friend from college is in town, who also happens to be best friends with my boyfriend's ex, as they were all in the same college friend group. My boyfriend made it clear it's important I spend time with him and his friend this weekend. But the friend is inviting the ex to every single thing we do. Friday night, I went out with them, her included, and we were all together for several hours. Tonight, Saturday, she's coming out to drink with us again. Tomorrow, she and her sister, who my boyfriend says fucking hates his guts, are coming skiing with us.
Get her out. Get her out.
Yeah. Not only do I not want to drink again tonight, I don't want to spend the next 2 days hanging out with my boyfriend's very serious ex-girlfriend, the last person he fucked before me.
Yeah,
She's honestly a wonderful person and was nothing but kind to me. And I have no problems with her personally, but 3 days in a row is a little much. My dilemma is that I'm also not comfortable with them getting drunk together without me there. So I feel like I'm forced to spend my whole weekend with her, making really uncomfortable small talk and acting platonically towards my boyfriend because I feel bad being affectionate with him in front of her.
Oh, God.
That's a rough one.
Yeah.
I understand where that comes from.
Hurting this is like in
I
the
know.
gut. Jeez, I feel bad for this
It's
woman.
awkward.
Yeah.
So she's got to treat her boyfriend like a brother in front of his ex. Yeah, that's tough. Since he dumped her pretty callously when they broke up years ago, I know he has no feelings for her, but I also think she would sleep with him again if they were single. You're putting a lot on that.
Well, but if she thought both of those things, then why is she not comfortable with the two of them getting drunk together?
And her not being there?
Yeah, like she must...
There's a little bit of mistrust here that we're not hearing.
There must be if she said. I mean, that's what she said.
Well, she doesn't trust her. Well,
I mean, I don't blame her. By the way,
nobody
I would
think.
too.
Well, the funny,
I would have thrown a hissy fit by now. By the way,
you would have been.
Oh, absolutely. I would have already been like, listen, home, like
it's too much.
Listen, I can't. It's one thing to hang out once or twice. It's a 3-day skiing trip, or you can't. I mean,
she actually did. I told my boyfriend I was pretty uncomfortable, and he responded with frustration and aggression. I feel gaslighted. Yeah, that's a little gaslighting. To be like, what? It's like, no, this is a real
come on, dude.
thing.
Yeah.
And at a minimum, I wanted a little compassion because I feel like I've been pretty good sport about this.
Yeah.
He also gets jealous and shuts conversations down that have anything to do with men from my past who he's never met because he doesn't like hearing about guys he used to sleep with because it hurts his feelings.
Oh, well, this guy's a whole double standard. So he wouldn't go on a 3-day skiing trip if it was the other way around.
I really don't know how to handle this situation or how to handle this come next week when the friend leaves town. This situation is about trust. It's about a lack of regard for my feelings.
Yeah, well put.
Very well
She's
put.
absolutely right.
Screenshots below to illustrate how he handled the fight. Admittedly, I was a little emotional too.
She provides screenshots?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, wow.
Come on.
This is documentary
Come on,
filmmaker
Jenks.
style. Damn, wow.
Any insight on how to pick this conversation back up next week would be greatly appreciated because I'm at a total loss. Additionally, maybe not necessary information. He, the friend, and the ex are all 30. I'm 28. And she and I work in the same industry and also have a level of professionalism to maintain as our jobs cross paths occasionally.
Jeez, This thing just keeps getting trickier.
Hearing a response on Tuesday's pod would be very refreshing after a fucking exhausting weekend. So
I love that. She gives you a deadline, too.
Yeah, right? Well, we didn't make it.
Oh, really? Damn it.
Oh, no, actually we did because this comes out Tuesday. It's Wednesday. She wanted it yesterday.
Okay.
Well, you're getting it next week.
Right.
Here are the texts. I'll read. Oh, my God. How do you... Okay, we got to... Okay. I'm going to read the texts.
Okay.
They're hard to read. She sent them in a weird way. Maybe if you sent these texts right, we wouldn't have this issue now.
Get her out. Get her out.
All right. So this is the text she sent, I think, after they hung out the one night and she doesn't want to go out that night before the ski Sunday.
Okay.
So I think these are Saturday texts.
Okay.
I don't want to drink later, and I feel like I have to come out now. I'm uncomfortable with you going out and drinking with her without me there. Like, it's a little much at this point. Would you really be upset if the roles were... You would be really upset if the roles were reversed, and I feel like I've been a pretty good sport.
Well put.
Then he writes, she just wants to see blank. If roles were reversed, I'd go out with you.
Oh.
She writes, I really don't feel good, and I don't want to go out again later. Okay, I really don't think she's trying to hook up with me at all, and I have zero interest in her. That's what he wrote.
Okay.
They're both right now.
Right.
If I'm willing
I
to
agree.
play referee,
Right.
she's right for feeling uncomfortable about it.
Right.
He's right for saying she doesn't want to hook up with me. Like, everyone, my mom and my girlfriend thinks every girl is into me. Those are the only two in America. Right? Nobody thinks they're hotter than a guy with a girlfriend.
Right.
Because they come home
Right.
and they get fed at home and they think, yeah, if I was out in the wild, I'd be fine. No. Yeah. At home, it's wah, wah, and then out, it's, yeah. They're at home with their hands down their pants and then they're like, yeah, if I went out tonight, I'd get whatever I wanted. That's right.
Exactly.
And then he comes home.
Lock the door
Yeah.
and turn the lights down low.
Hey, baby. You know, if I was out there like a wild man, I'd be crushing puss every night. Okay, so she writes, I also really feel like hanging out with your ex-girlfriend one night this weekend was enough. I'm telling you, it makes me really uncomfortable. You're choosing to invalidate my feelings.
Wow. Okay.
What would you like me to do?
This is his response
This
now.
is his response. What would you like me to do? Send blank to meet her without me? Tell her she's not allowed to hang out with us? I get you're uncomfortable and I'm sorry, but I'm not sure what you would like me to do. I'd love for you to come with us. She writes. Now that answer, he goes from 0 to 60. He's like, what do you want me to do? Tell her she's not allowed to hang out with us? It's like, we know that's not an option.
Right.
So, like, why are you throwing that option in her face?
Right. Good point.
I do understand where he could go, hey, I got a friend in from out of town that I never see, because that's the premise here.
Right.
I do think there's an in-between where he could be like, listen, I'm going to go with them for dinner, and then I'll come back and hang out with you.
Ooh. That's the answer.
That's kind of the answer.
Yeah, absolutely.
She writes back, pass. I don't like that answer from her.
No, she so far has been so much above that.
And then
Yeah.
And she writes,
To her credit.
She writes, you could easily let blank hang out with blank without you. They're best friends, right? He's an adult. I really don't think I'm wrong for telling you I'm not comfortable with you going out and drinking with your ex-girlfriend. You have options. You have agency. You're not forced into that situation. Then he writes, I want to hang out with blank. He came out here to hang out with me. She mentioned snow sculptures. We're not going out and getting hammered for anything. She split with us at like 9:30 last night. I get it's weird. I fully understand that. I don't want to sit at home while my friend is in town. Even right now, I'm trying to get ready. She writes, it hurts a lot that you can't choose me one day this weekend to not put me in this situation. He writes back, my fucking friend is in town.
Oh, shit. Yep.
See, he's leaning on this friend thing.
Right.
Then she writes,
is that fair, though, to be
it's fair.
kind of fair, no? Or
It's
no?
fair to him, but he's not being proactive. He's just saying, my friend's in town. This is the situation.
Oh, I see. Provide some sort of like answer to this.
Yeah, at this point, like the dinner thing that like snow sculpture, you don't have to go for snow. You can go, hey, I'm going to come out for dinner, but I got to go after that.
Right.
And then, she writes, you hate hearing about guys I used to date before I ever met you. Multiply that feeling times 1,000,000. That's how I feel hanging out with your ex-girlfriend who you lived with and have a long history with and is the last person you fucked before me. It has nothing to do with trust. You seem to understand this feeling so well when I talk about an ex-boyfriend, but now you're going to gaslight me and you can't even have enough empathy to not swear at me. I don't like that. I hate and you swore at me? Don't make the fight about something else.
I see. Good point. At first, I was totally on her side there. But
Right.
You're right. That makes
and you
sense.
swear?
Right.
This is a house of God.
Right.
Come on.
Right.
This isn't okay. I'm incredibly upset, and you're calling me and basically telling me to fuck off, and that I'm interrupting your day. I'm in my house crying. This isn't how a good partner handles this situation. Have a nice day. I'll stop bothering you.
Ooh, wow. So she... See, if the thing is, if I were her, I would be livid. Like, I'm impressed that she's even articulating her feelings in the way that she is, but that might be my own insecurities.
She sent that long text. I'm with you. I think they've both crossed some lines, but I think he's not trying and she's trying.
Yes, right. Well, exactly.
You know, so what's funny is she sent that whole text and it ended with "Have a nice day. I'll stop bothering you," and I think he didn't answer, and she just wrote back, "Wow." That is like the most female text ever. To like this long thing, goodbye.
Right.
And then you go, all right, I guess goodbye. I'll see you tomorrow. and then it's wow. Have a good day, sir.
Right.
Goodbye.
Right. She's sitting there waiting.
I guess she wants me to go. I guess I'll go to the party and we'll talk about this tomorrow. Wow. Like. I'm trying to catch a bus. I'll read the rest of that in a second. Oh, he said he didn't even read it.
Oh, he's trying to catch a bus.
I'll read the rest of that in a second. So he's now, not only has he not gotten back to her, he didn't finish it.
Right.
He's even admitting to it.
Right.
I fully understand your discomfort, and it would be weird if the roles were reversed. I'm sorry for swearing. Okay, he owned. If this is truly a huge...
listening.
Now he writes, if this is truly a huge deal. Yeah, dude, she said it's a big deal.
Yeah.
I can send blank out by himself and tell blank you're not comfortable with me being around her. Dude, that's not the solution she wants.
It's not, but at least like his intention is right, I think. No?
No, I think...
You don't think his intent... He's like,
back,
maybe, how do I figure this out? He's like, maybe I do this, or you think that's not the case?
He knows she doesn't want her to tell
that's
her
right,
that you don't feel comfortable around her. Now, that's even... To me, if a girl... in the world that she lives in, you have to, like... His current girlfriend, the world she lives in is... This girl wants to maybe have sex with you.
Right.
So in that world... Going to the girl who wants that... in the world where this girl wants to have sex with you...
Got it.
Guess what? My girlfriend really feels uncomfortable with you being around me. Now it's upselling himself.
Right.
Now that's like him kind of flirting with her.
I see. Oh, of course. Duh.
That was supposed to be my moment.
Yeah.
And
Right.
she took that from me.
Right.
She wrote back,
Right.
no, you will not tell him or her that.
Right.
But again, with the gaslighting, you could easily tell blank, you don't feel like going out tonight. This conversation is laughable. Let me know when you guys go out. We can pick up this argument next week.
Good for... I like her ending there.
Yeah.
Because it is just devolving. I mean, it's going nowhere at this point.
It's going nowhere, and his solutions keep getting
His
worse and
solutions
worse.
got worse,
Like
yeah,
he's like,
yeah.
well, I can just tell her that you guys want to have a threesome with me, and next week we can all fuck. Like,
And
what?
And not only that, but this is the one where they kind of cross waves in terms of working together. She like sees her
Yeah,
at
they have a
work.
professional.
So
thing
that's
going.
really messed up if he were to go to her and say,
course.
because now I forgot about that component. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's terrible. Yeah.
You shouldn't be upset that I fucked her. You should be upset that I had a laugh with her.
It's true.
See, there it is.
They're having laughs
Yeah.
on Saturday night and
Right.
into the ski trip tomorrow. They're like,
Right.
and I do understand from her side, they're building memories again together. Like there is that, like,
Yeah, that's
now that
weird.
you're gone. Oh, wow, we did have a good time hanging out.
Right.
What do you think she says to him in their argument? Like, how do they revisit this? Like, what is?
Is this friend going to be back in town again soon, or how often?
I don't know. I because now the problem is this is like in the world of cheating. Like you made decision upon decision that disregarded me. Now you got to earn that back. Like the trust is gone a little bit. What's going to happen the next time? It's not about the next time the girlfriend comes back, the ex-girlfriend comes back. It's about, okay, so this is how you treat someone in a relationship with.
Right.
Like that's what she has to address with him.
Right.
Would you
Serious
want to
red
be with
flag.
someone who did this, who went out no matter what?
So do we know that he ends up going out?
Seemed like it. She even said, additionally, screenshots below to how he handled the fight. I was a little emotional too. Any insight on how to pick up the conversation back up next week would be greatly appreciated because I am in total loss.
I don't know. I'm at a loss of words. I don't know what you do. I would think I wouldn't like give up on the guy because of this one.
You wouldn't give up on it.
No, he wasn't. I mean, it's fair to say he is in a slight predicament, right? He does have a friend, and
he
this
is
whole
in
thing.
an unwinnable situation.
He has been responding and trying his best to like.
And to take his side a little bit, if he doesn't show up for the Saturday night, it won't be like if your friend came to visit the town and the ex was there also. You not showing up for Saturday night hang, the only reasonable belief would be that your girlfriend doesn't like that you're hanging out with your ex.
Right.
So
Right.
if he like her solution isn't a solution either. Her solution of like don't go Saturday night is a little extreme. I could see from his side being like, I'm not going to not see my friend who's in town.
That's what I keep getting. Yeah. That's
so
the
like,
thing.
so it does feel like she didn't really work with him on the solution. Like, it feels like they needed to work on the solution together.
Right.
And it's like for her to say, you don't go, or like, I don't agree with his response to don't go, but it took one of them to say, well, what's the middle ground?
Right.
And they both didn't do that.
Right. Right. I will, and it is impressive on her end that she is entertaining this to some extent.
Sure.
Because I don't know.
She tried.
Yeah, she did try.
But then that's the other thing. It's like you went out. It's.
I mean, you think to think that this guy he'd been hooking up with this other woman. He'd been with this other woman. I mean, I'd be pretty peeved. She was pretty empathetic about the whole thing.
Here's my problem. Here's what I would say to her, and I'm saying this from like I'm here to not take sides. I'm here to just look at the situation and give a thought on it.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that this is happening the Saturday of after hanging out on Friday is too late.
Oh,
That's my problem.
I see.
Because here's what happened. She could have let him know that I don't know when she found out about this trip, but the minute you saw if she found out Friday that the ex was going to be there, she's right.
Right.
That's the line of delineation. If Friday, he's like, and also, I know this is weird, my ex is going to be there. I totally get it.
Mm-hmm.
If 2 weeks before they got there, he was like, listen, we got a weird, unwinnable situation.
Right.
Here's Friday. Here's Saturday. Right. Sunday, we're going to do this. The ex is going to be there, but I really want you to be involved with this because I want you to get to know my friend, and I know they're best friends. Like, if that was happened 2 weeks before, and you waited until Saturday to say, I'm not going and I'm not comfortable with it, it's on you.
Right.
Because at that point, I would say, wait a minute, you knew the whole time. Why? You could have just gotten ahead of this, and we could have figured out a plan together.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where my advice changes.
I like that a lot.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
Because in the beginning, like if it's Friday, it's popped up on you, all of a sudden the ex is there, and then he's like, and we're spending the weekend together.
Right.
I'd be like, all right, you got to break up with this dude.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't really think of your feelings. If there was a couple weeks or a week at least where like you knew this was coming and you didn't get in front of your feelings, I have to like say to you, now you're bringing it up the Saturday of, and now you're putting him in a position where he has to go to his best friend and go, hey, we can't come. And the only thought from them is, oh, so your current girlfriend doesn't like your ex? Is that what it is?
Right.
Which you're right for feeling, but you've given your friend no chance to save face. Or you've given your boyfriend no chance to save face. That's
Right.
where I'm at.
You're very good at taking a step back and getting the 30,000-foot view.
I'm trying my best.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
but that's kind of
I
what.
can never do
But that's
this.
the thing with like this is why people come to this show. Is like when it's your friend, you have too much information. You're like,
Right.
well, you get emotional all the time back when we were in elementary school and I stole your Halloween candy.
Right.
You know, like, and you're like, well, that doesn't matter here.
Right.
And when it's, when you don't know the person, you get the facts. So we only have so many. I can only go based on what we know, and that's why the advice changes if I found out more information.
Got it. Yeah.
JTrain podcast at gmail.com. Andrew Jenks, this was a pleasure, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Had
Thank
fun.
you so much for coming on.
Yeah.
Everyone here,
Appreciate it.
go get involved. And you're on Instagram at Andrew Jenks.
Yep. I
Go
am.
follow Andrew. It's going to be on my Instagram. You'll see him tagged up the wazoo.
Sweet.
What really happened? That is the podcast. 3 seasons are out.
Yes.
Go check it out. Shelby, thank you for popping in.
Shelby.
And for bringing Andrew Jenks to our doorstep.
Thank you, Shelby.
At Classic Shelb on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. Good luck on your date tonight.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
We're all cheering for you. And if
I
it doesn't work
appreciate
out,
it.
I'm sure someone from that listen is going to be in your inbox today.
Fingers crossed.
I'm Jared Freid. Every Tuesday and Friday, we're here with your emails. Keep sending them in. JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. We'll be back next episode. Boom.